for Small Talk 1490 KMET.
That's right. It's the morning show here on ABC News Radio KMET 1490 AM. We appreciate each and every one of you. We know there's a lot of things going on. We know that people are having fun and people are doing some pretty cool stuff. We know you guys are also going, okay, what's going on in the world? I will say I got to do a big shout out to my friends over at the San Gabriel Valley Master Key _ podcast. They had me on yesterday to talk about the book, and I've been promoting it here. And they actually were talking about some of the things that we've said here on the show. There's a book available at barnesandnoble.com, How to Start a Business in a Down Economy. And it's a good handbook for every budding entrepreneur. By Jesse Torres and myself, Aaron Michael Sanchez. So I was able to kind of talk about it. But on the podcast, which they have a really cool Instagram, you should go follow them, SGV Master Key _ podcast. They have a lot of good interviews with some people that I actually know, and people that are in business and people that are like making, just things happen. So pretty cool stuff. Anyway, they said, and we got Jess over there. Good morning, Jess.
Good morning.
Yeah, so they said something that we've been saying and that I've been saying for quite some time. One of the person said, look, to figure out how to do my heating because I've never paid so much. And the other one was like, but in a way, one of them is a business owner, okay? He has a business. So he doesn't really, you can count the money. He does coupons for fun, but he doesn't have to. Like, he always has unlimited income in essence because he has a business. He has 2 locations. He has a partner. They have billboards all over the area, okay? You've probably seen them. It's one of those, like, call us, we're attorneys, pretty cool. So, but the other one was kind of feeling kind of the pinch, and, his I'll say the person in the room that helped us out when it came to, like, all the stuff when it comes to, they really have everything ready to go because they do video and audio, which I highly recommend everyone to do if you have a podcast or anything. Never do just audio, always do video because it lives long, like Instagram. Instagram, you don't want to see just audio clips, you want to see video clips, right? That makes sense. But he does it really good. And shout out to them. I guess they're on episode almost in the hundreds, but they put a lot of them out there on Instagram. And I've been on the show before, but they did a different location in Pasadena. So the point is this. He said, you know what? I've never had to pay so much. And I said, well, that's because nobody's doing the math of 2020. 2020, if you go back to the amount that we paid, it wasn't that bad. We were able to pay stuff. I'm not saying that if you had, if you were hurting already, it was easy, but it wasn't as bad as it is now. And what I mean by that is, look at just the normal cost of anything. You go to the store. If somebody else pays you, you really don't know. Like if you're someone and you're like, maybe your lady pays for you, you don't know the price. But when you go and you go, how come this is that and this is that and this is that? The only thing I ever hear as an automatic response is inflation. I go, yes, but inflation is something no one knew about before 2020. I'll give you an example. I remember being invited to this one place, and they said, hey, and they had to educate about inflation. They go, look, you want something that's more than like 3%, because average, and it's true, I did the math, average inflation per year is 3%. People go, what does that mean? I go, whatever costs, like let's say $1, add 3 cents, it's $1.03 the next year. The following year, based on that, on 3%, it could be $1. It's not really $1.06. It's more like $1 because it's 3%. So $1.06 point, whatever. That's how gas is, right? So normal average raises about 3% per year. This time, between 2020 and 2023, we have gone to 20 to 30. Some would even estimate up to 40% in some places, and they haven't come back down. All of a sudden, what happened? So the question that was asked in the interview, and as soon as they release it, I'll make sure to share it with you guys. But was this? It's corporation. Government can only do so much. It's corporation. So in essence, a lot of you are feeling the pinch and you're not talking about it, but you need to. They were talking about it already, and I said, yeah, there's a reason for that. You could still, in a way, like I say, go get the book, and of course, it's affordable. It's only $20. But it's how to start a business in a down economy. We're in a down economy. It may feel like, oh, it's up in some areas, but in a lot of areas it's not. And a lot of you feeling the pinch because everybody, including every utility almost, is charging you up the wazoo. I remember I was paying $50 to $60 for heating, or for electrical, I should say. But now it's like $200. It's crazy, and that's what this guy was saying. He's like, look, I never had to think like maybe I just need like a little blanket to heat me up because the heater is costing too much, right? Their heating bill or their electric bill, basically. I don't know if they do gas or electric, but all of your bills are high, 4 times the amount what they were in 2020. If you did the math on that, you would be up in arms. But everybody's kind of like, whatever. I go, don't be that way, because you have to speak up. Then they put pressure on them to go back because they never give the money back. I know that during, and some say, well, it's coronavirus. Yeah, okay, that'll be the next thing I say. I say the advantage of the situation, but in a way, they don't have to keep doing that because they got their money. Meaning, not everyone paid at the time because of coronavirus. So someone would say, well, they have to make their money. I go, they make so much money, they need to like start giving money out in essence as rebates and stuff. It's ridiculous. And some say, well, they do. Well, that depends on what you buy. But again, it's too much. And when the point is this, Jess, we're not alone when we say this. I'm glad to. Sometimes you got to get outside your own little world and then talk to other people. They go, yeah, why is it so much? And that's what happened on this podcast. So I was super excited by it. Can't wait to share with you guys. But in the meantime, go follow them. SGV Master Key _podcast. Great show, great interviews. They really upscaled what they do. I love how they built the space. So really cool stuff. Anyway, we got some stuff going on. And Jess, I'm not going to lie. I looked at your social. Oh, hey, by the way, are we going to have social in the next few years? Because from what I understand, they're looking at social. They're saying, in essence, like they're going to raise the minimum to 16. Federal is like, with the Supreme Court looking at all of a sudden, a bunch of like internet cases. What's going on?
Whoa, wait. What do you mean?
Oh, you didn't hear that?
No.
You're like, wait, don't. Okay. So here's watch. You're probably be like, no, I agree. I appreciate that. Here's the reality. Okay, they're saying in essence they're going to control the internet. Okay, I'll give you an example, and I agree with this part. Okay, and I've said this to people: be careful with like places like Twitter. If you have a kid, I don't know if you've ever been on Twitter, but if one of your people that you're following, you could be following random people, whatever. I do, because everybody follows it, I follow back. But and I kind of don't follow people. But anyway, they retweet something. It could be from a site that you're like, oh no, right? Now they have privacy settings, they do. But sometimes you're like, but I want to see that. And sometimes the privacy settings are off, so I turn off sometimes. But if you were in front of a kid and you were just going through your Twitter, would you see maybe something that's, not appropriate for a kid to see?
Oh, if I open my Twitter at this current moment?
Yeah.
Yeah, no one can look at it but my eyes.
There you go. Okay, and some people retweet stuff, and some women put some stuff. You're like, they were more jeans the other day, and so your lady's like, really, you're gonna show that? Wow, thanks a lot, So you gotta be careful. My point is this, and I've always said this: if you have Twitter, be careful with the kids, because it's kind of like the Wild Wild West when it comes to social. So that I understand. Now, Facebook is more like fam and stuff. Rarely do you see stuff like that, if ever. So I haven't really had that problem. Instagram, I think someone said, I'm getting off this and going to OnlyFans. I'm like, you did something in the subscription mode that they like did something at that hot. So I'm just like, okay, whatever. And then some things get passed, whatever. Some people flag it, some people don't, whatever. TikTok, not sure, but whatever. So in a way, like for all of these apps, including Facebook, they have this little minimum age. They go, what's your age? And if you're under like 13, you kind of can't do it. You have to like fib in order to get an account, right, Jess?
Gotcha. Yes, you do.
So the question I have is, are they going to raise the minimum age for drinking at some point? Because at this point, like if you go from 13, why those ages? What changes from 13 to 16? I agree with the 13 age. 12 and 13, kind of there's like a switch that happens, right? But why 16? Who chose that? And then are you going to do the minimum drinking age as well, like 21 to something else? Some would say, and then others would say, so I say, what's going on with the world when it comes to the internet, Jess?
Oh my God. Yeah. Let me think. I'm trying to remember what I was like on the internet at 16. Yeah, we need privacy settings on everything.
See, I told you you were like, because I know, man. That was back in the day where I was on Prodigy and AOL, and there were chat rooms, and there were people that would, I remember a couple people taking advantage of the situation. I'm like, so my point is this: you got to be careful. Okay, that's for any parent out there. Every kid's like, great, thanks a lot. I don't want you talking about that anymore. But the point is this: they're talking about it, So are they going to enact them? I don't know. Some say no, that's a far cry. I don't know, man. They're attacking everything when it comes to the internet. I talked about this last week on the show, and I said be careful because they're supposed to meet, and I think they're meeting as we speak about some internet stuff about suing based on what's appropriate on because I think they're suing a few social media accounts because of course, like terrorism, as they say, recruiting on these sites. Back to the 15s and 16s of the 2000 era, and everyone is like, okay, who can we sue? And I say, okay, I get that, but then once they sue, what does it open the door for? And then what happens along the way? Because there's a lot of people that want to squash the internet, but it's usually people that I say you don't even know what they do on the internet. Like, you know what I mean? Like when Facebook was under the gun, Zuckerberg, right? He was under the gun. They were like asking questions like, so let's explain this. Okay, so click. What is a click? And you're like, dude, click is with the mouse. They go, okay. So you do all right. So when you guys do the click, who sees it? And they're like, well, programmers see it eventually when they look at analytics. Okay, what's analytics? They were asking questions like, but they're putting the laws out there. So a lot of people are like, dude, why are you putting laws out there and stuff you don't even do or use? You know what I mean? And then they go real extreme. Well, okay, so this person was able to okay, so if I post a picture, right? If I post a picture, it how does it find me? And they go, well, we have this face thing that kind of like says this person. They disabled that. I don't know if you saw that. They had this really cool technology, which I say they should enable. It's how you find murderers and rapists and all the people that disappear all of a sudden. But it's called remember when we had it and it says, is this person so and so? Now, as a user, Jess, you remember that?
Oh my God. Yes, I kept getting notifications. So it's like, is this you? I'm like, how did they know that? And I'm not even connected to the person.
Which
But
which sometimes, correct me if I'm wrong, sometimes it was kind of cool because you were like, I didn't even know that person, knew me, right? Because it said, but it gave you a permission, which I liked. It said, in essence, it didn't automatically tag. They had this cool thing which would notify you and say, do you want to be tagged in this photo, right? Because we were tagging everybody in photos left, right, and center. But yeah, it automatically sees. Now, I will say this. I used to post pictures, and it didn't tag the person that was in it. It tagged her sister. And I'm like, why is it tagging her sister? It doesn't even look like her. But my point is this. At the end of the day, they disabled it 100%. I'm like, why did they do that? Because you could easily find, cops and people that want to use it can easily find people that do these things. I think there was a guy that went on social and he, ranted about something and they eventually found him. But that's when they go all, and there's some dumb criminals that do that. But my point is this. I get some people go, well, I don't want my information out there. And again, back to Facebook, they gave you the ability to say, no, I don't want to be on that, or yes, I don't mind. I didn't mind because I'm in so many events and stuff. If somebody posts something and I happen to be in it, I want to see that photo, right? I may even use the photo for my social. So I just think people are kind of giving a big thing on something that I say is kind of dumb. I don't know. I think you guys should weigh in. Let us know what you think. Do you agree? Do you disagree? What do you think should happen? But yeah, there you go. Anyway, Jess, what's going on?
no, I'm just thinking if someone was to look at my search history, would they be like, what does this guy look at? I look at a bunch of weird stuff. And I'm not talking about like that, but I'm talking about I like to watch people cook on YouTube,
Yeah.
and I will look at things like I found out yesterday what a duck press was. I don't know if you know what that is.
I got no clue what a duck press is. I imagine a duck pressing like an Affleck commercial, but what is a duck press, Jess?
Yeah, so it's used for a few dishes, and what it is they put the carcass of the duck, once it's cooked and stuff, you put it in there, and then the press just squishes all the juices and blood
Oh,
out.
God, Jess. Okay, we're going to take a break. We're out of time. I didn't need to go there right now. There's snow, by the way. Just got snow in his backyard of where we're at in San Bernardino, Riverside. Oh, my God. So there you go. So be careful out there driving. That's number one. Drive safely. Remember, sleek roads mean sleek yikes, okay? Don't get yikes. All right, we'll be back with more right after this. Stay tuned. Yikes.
We're in the studio with Fred Penny, managing attorney with Penny and Associates Injury Lawyers. Fred, tell us what makes you the number one choice for handling personal injury cases.
Most of our firm is made up of former insurance company trial lawyers with extensive experience handling all types of personal injury matters. We believe that gives us a distinct advantage.
That's Penny and Associates Injury Lawyers with locations throughout California. For a free consultation, go to pennyandassociates.com or call 1-800-616-4-LAW. That's 1-800-616-4-LAW.
All aspects of divorce are up for discussion on Divorcing Your Mortgage, Fridays at 4 o'clock p.m. Pacific Time. Divorcing Your Mortgage with your host Mark Gertz will emphasize finances in real estate. Mark is a certified divorce lending professional and along with guest experts will cover the entire spectrum of divorce in America. What you don't know can hurt you. Find out what you need to know every Friday afternoon at 4 p.m. Help find solutions to your financial uncoupling on Divorcing Your Mortgage. You're running out of letterhead. What do? Lithopass Printing. You need business cards. Now what? Lithopass Printing. Invitations to a wedding? Lithopass Printing and Banning is the answer. Lithopass Printing can provide banners, signs, and blueprints. Think of Lithopass Printing and Banning for quality graduation, birthday party, and baby shower invitations. Lithopass Printing also provides lamination, faxing, and photo prints. If you need it inked, make it Lithopass Printing. Lithopass Printing and Banning.
The Holiday Inn Express and Suites in Banning is distinctively suited for your travel time out of the car. Off the road, you'll find a courteous, welcoming staff and spacious rooms with desks, flat-screen HD TVs, and comfortable furnishings. Enjoy the complimentary breakfast buffet, high-speed internet, and fitness center and pool. The Holiday Inn Express and Suites in Banning, conveniently located off the I-10 near golf, gaming, and entertainment. For reservations and information, call 951-572-5500. That's 951-572-5500, or go online at hiebanning.com.
Do you owe $10,000 or more to the IRS or state? Did you miss sending out a prior year tax return? The IRS is out to collect now more than ever, and they'll use any means necessary. They legally can and will garnish your wages, take your money, and even seize your property. If you're behind on your taxes, call the Tax Relief Hotline right now at 951-224-9000. That's 951-224-9000. 951-224-9000. You can legally get your tax debt under control and in many cases get the breathing room you need. Garnished wages, property seizures, bank levies can stop immediately, but you have to call. Many of our specialists are IRS enrolled agents. They know the system and how to make it work for you. Don't wait for the IRS to come down on you. Act now so you can get your tax debt under control. Call the Riverside office today for free info at 951-224-9000. That's 951-224-9000. 951-224-9000.
That's right. It's a morning show here on ABC News Radio KMET 1490 AM. We got a lot of things going on. I will say this. I saw something yesterday that I thought, oh, what? That doesn't even make sense. But it kind of makes sense with something we said, Jess. Do you remember, Jess, when I said something about like tectonic plates and I said water will go somewhere?
Yes, I remember you saying that.
Okay. You know the canals that are very famous in Venice?
Yeah. That's how they get around the city, right? With the little boats and singing or something like that. Oh, why? What happened? Oh my God!
It started, Jess. It started, and they're saying, "Oh no, it's normal." I'm like, "You guys are dumb." No, it's not normal, people. Let me put it this way. Anyone that knows anything about Italy or any of those canals has known for quite some time, Jess, that it's kind of a thing and it's been a thing for some time. Now, I will say this. They have always expected, in a way like, okay, worst case scenario, the water gets higher and at some point, you know, some think like, do they, you know, are they like just floating on the sea? I'm not going to lie, I've always thought that. But now that I see this, I go, huh? Based on what we said, I said water will go somewhere. I said this, Jess. I said it. It was just the other day. I said it. You're like, what? What are you talking about? It's already begun, Jess. Here it is. Here's, and this has happened recent. It says the Italian city has seen access cut off for the tourist boats as well as water taxis and ambulances. Venice's famous gondolas trapped in the mud amid historic low. They're calling it tides. I call it something else, Jess. I don't think it's a tide. I don't think it's ever happened. I don't think it's ever gone that low.
Oh my lord! I have never. Okay, I was not aware. I'll be honest. Like you said, I thought they were floating on something.
Yeah,
was
right.
not,
Like a floating city, right?
yeah, I was not aware. Okay, that's weird. I have never seen anything like this. That is crazy.
Yeah, it says this. Here's another one. Another report. Big. Yeah. It says Venice canals run dry amid fears Italy faces, and they're calling it something else. But I say, I think the water's going somewhere, Jess. Based on the earthquake that we had when it comes to Turkey, Syria, and all the aftershocks that are happening, I think it's a tectonic thing, and I think the water's actually, I don't know how to say it, but it's going somewhere. And they have a hard time tracking it, but I would say it must be around the area because it's obviously, I guess the best word would be, but people don't want to say it, draining to like maybe an underground area. It goes somewhere, Jess. It doesn't just disappear. Not like that.
You know what? This isn't the first river or something like that I heard being drained and stuff.
Yeah.
I remember people were saying the Euphrates River was drying up.
It's funny that you say that. There are so many things people are going, dude, that book is real. There's a scripture, but they always say it's just like symbolic. But there's a scripture about the waters drying up, man. And I know, I'm like, and then there's asteroid. I showed my mom. People go, you go extreme. I go, I know I do, but you gotta watch what happens in the end time. Anyway, the point is this, Jess. See, here's a question here. How Venice's canals were built on water? How deep are the canals? This was back, when was this posted? This was a while back. Because I really, like, if anyone knows anything about Venice, it's not all of Venice, okay? It's just the canals of Venice, which are like, kind of normal. And you've seen them in a lot of movies, okay? This scene kind of looks like a scene that they've done a couple of times. I don't know if it's going to come up. Sometimes these things will come up on my thing to share, and I like, if you hear me kind of pause, it's basically me trying to bring up the image so that you. But the point is this: sometimes, when you see movies, you see, the canals, you see the water, you see all of that, and then you go, okay, that makes sense. Okay, here it is. Here's a scene that I'm sure you've seen. It's been a couple things: Tourist, Mission Impossible. There's a normal canal with water. Okay, Vegas has something like it. It's a makeshift one. This is not Vegas, okay? All right? That water's gone. Where'd it go? They say, oh, it's a drought. I say, no. It says here, the canals of Venice are among the world's most romantic places. Before the atmospheric waterways we know and love today came into existence, before the grandeur of the city's opulent palazzos and piazzas, there was only a marshy, muddy lagoon with little going for it beyond a smattering of 124 small islands. So how was this miraculous floating city? They've always called it a floating city, which you get why we always thought, like, people are like, no, of course it's not floating, but it's always in water. So we go, what is it? How was it created from such humble origins? And just how deep are Venice's canals? Keep reading to find out. So it says how it was built. To make the islands of the Venetian lagoon fit for habitation, Venice's early settlers needed to drain areas of the lagoon, dig canals, and shore up the banks to prepare them for building on. They began by digging canals and lining them up by driving closely spaced wooden stakes, many of them made from water-resistant alder wood. And see, that's more information than I ever knew about the area. But I think the question that I have is this: where's the water going?
Okay, I can just say something stupid. Mole people. But who knows? I mean,
Why mole people, Jess? Why?
I don't know, because The Simpsons said it. So there
Got
must.
it.
Right? No, but I don't know. Who knows where it's going? It reminds me of something I remember reading an article about some place called the Eye of the Sahara. I don't know if you've ever heard of that place. It's yeah, it's like it was said to have like this really like waterway city. Like there's like it's kind of like Venice, how you can get through with the gondolas and stuff like that. But if you look at it now, nope, dry desert.
Okay.
So, like, if I wonder if at one time did the Sahara have water?
I don't know, but I'm looking at your Euphrates stuff, and it says this, and it just was posted actually. And they're all saying, "Oh, it must be, something else." I go, "Well, if it all happens all of a sudden at the same time, it's got to be something kind of big." The Euphrates River. Where's the Euphrates River, Jess?
To be honest, I have no idea.
Oh, look at that! It's a major international waterway that divides Turkey, Syria, and Iraq. Jess, I'm telling you, we're right.
It's all connected.
I said this. I said the earthquake is something that they don't want to know and or understand in a way because it's kind of like, what the heck? But I think the crack of, when it happened, February something, of Turkey and Syria is something we're going to see repercussions of years down the line when it comes to the river and the area. Okay, the Euphrates River. I'm so glad you brought this up, Jess. I'm glad we talked. The Euphrates River, according to this, says it's finally dried up, but now something has emerged. I don't know what that means. But it says this: the Euphrates River is a major international waterway that divides Turkey, Syria, and Iraq. What happened there recently? And this was just posted recently, February 15th. It's now the 23rd. Okay. What happened recent? The big earthquake. Okay. Now, when things shift and are open, which if you look at some of the news, it shifted a lot. In one area, like it separated a whole land of trees, and then there's a lot of rock. You go, no, it was always there. It split open like 100% and divided like more than like a feet. Like I would say, I don't even know how to guesstimate that. Anyway, look at the news. So the Euphrates River, as you said, Jess, and I think this Italy thing, Venice, I should say, is a thing, all connected because it's all kind of in like a region. But I say tectonic plate. I say this, and the research has to be done. Okay, so if you're seeing this, and you know somebody who works in geology, please get a hold of them to get a hold of me, and then we could talk. But it says this: for over 10,000 years, the river has provided the majority of the region's water, but it has recently begun to dry up. Now it says there's a bunch of other things, blah 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 blah. I say no. What does it have in common with what just happened? The huge earthquake. Okay, that's number one. When things open, people forget about this. Sometimes things drain. It's like a crack in the Earth's crust. Where does it go? I would say underneath and somewhere, right? And that happens. People think like a bathtub, and you think, okay, the drain, but the drain's always there. What if you had no drain, but then you punched a hole in it, or you split it open? Obviously, the water's going to go somewhere, right? You got to think like that. It's hard to think that way because you're like, the Earth doesn't do it. It does. It moves all the time. So it says this. According to this, it says thearchaeologist.org. I don't know how much is true here. It says the drying up of the Euphrates is not unexpected because it was, see, I told you, even they're calling it out. It was foretold in a prophecy that appears to be coming to a head. Scientists have made a horrifying discovery of the Euphrates River as a result of what was found beneath the riverbed. Once it had dried, the entire globe was rocked. It says now they've got hidden caves according to this. So, yeah. So it's the thing, Jess. That's interesting. I didn't know that.
Like I said, I look at a lot of stuff in a lot of different countries, and I can't remember why the Euphrates.
Oh my God, Jess! I got to say this. Hold up. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry.
I'm gonna be like.
I'm sorry. Well, then, okay, I do a search whenever Jess talks, right? And I do a Google search. You guys could do this, okay? So then I see an article. I go, oh no, it's been a thing. No. This article came out in January 4th, 2023. Okay. Whoever posted this, okay, it's on one of those sites about things happening, what will happen eventually, okay? They study a lot, okay? Some of you read the Bible, some of you don't care, some of you are atheists, some of you are, whatever, no judgment, but it says this, when it comes time for the battle of, I'm not going to say that word because it always strikes fear, and I say, no, it's transition, don't worry about it. It says the Euphrates River will indeed dry up. That was in January 4th, 2023. It's now February 23rd, 2023, Jess. And now people are going, are we in end time? Because there's pestilence, there's food shortage, there's earthquake, So my point is this, is it a thing? I don't know, Jess, but we got to take a break. We're going to let you guys just. What? I'm just people are like, are you trying to point like, dude, the Euphrates River has literally dried up. I say it's due to the earthquake, but again, back to like people that foretell the future, sometimes you don't know how it adds up. They think, it's going to be God doing it. No, that's called geology. But in a way, that's kind of the way things happen when you talk future, you go, how do you get there? We're living in it, so now we know how we got there, and there you go. So it's all related. Earthquakes in one place have another. Look it up. All right, we're going to take a quick break. We'll be back with more right after this. Stay tuned. Yikes.
New teen driver in the family? Just bought your first home? Have a new bundle of joy? Every life change matters, and by reviewing your insurance policy with Little & Sons Insurance Services, you could be benefiting with big savings. Little & Sons Insurance Services, a family-owned insurance agency who values the old-fashioned way of doing business. They work for you, not an insurance company, meaning your best interests are at heart. They can custom tailor your policy based on specific needs at a price you can afford. Home, auto, or business, you're covered. Call 1-844-9-LITTLE. That's 1-844-9-LITTLE, or go online to little, the letter N, sons.com. That's littlensons.com.
Jitters Coffee, a coffee shop that gives a double shot of quality. We offer top shelf coffee at a great price. Brewed hot or cold, you won't find a better cup of joe. Not a coffee connoisseur? Then try our Red Bull infusions to energize your day. We also have delicious pastries and sweets, baked in-house or flown in from the best bakeries in the country. Jitters Coffee. Come on in and enjoy your jitters.
Check out our newest location located in downtown Banning at the corner of Ramsey and San Gorgonio.
Hi, everyone. This is Bernadette, the host of One Life Radio, your #1 source for alternative and holistic health since 2011. One Life Radio is designed to educate and inspire. Visit us at oneliferadio.com because you get one body, you get one mind, and you get one life. Get out there today and make the most of it. Tune in weekdays at 1 p.m. on 1490 KMET Smart Talk, ABC News Radio.
When you want the best performance for your vehicle, think only of Scott's Headers and Mufflers in Beaumont, right off the I-10 and 60 freeways. Check out Scott's complete list of performance products on their website at hdrinfo.com. Scott's Headers and Mufflers can recommend ways for your car or truck to get better gas mileage and cut down on emissions. Need your car or truck to pass smog only? Go to Scott's Headers and Mufflers in Beaumont. Find out all of your questions on vehicle performance by logging on to hdrinfo.com. Scott's Headers and Mufflers in Beaumont, hdrinfo.com.
Standard time is here. That means shorter days and cooler nights that make you want to stay inside. Don't get caught in the cold. Franklin Mechanical Systems can do a preventative maintenance check on your heating unit. Get it working right. For cleaning, repair, or a new installation, call them for a free estimate. Franklin Mechanical Systems, for all your residential and commercial heating and air conditioning needs. Call their Beaumont office at 951-845-1000. That's 951-845-1000, and stay warm today.
Everybody loves to hear what Grandpa has to say because Grandpa speaks with wisdom. Here on KMET, Saturday morning at 9 a.m. Be sure to listen.
Welcome back. Yes, it is the morning show here on ABC News Radio, KMET, 1490 AM. If you missed the last part, I know people are going, you guys are lying, man. There is no end time. You guys are sold that. And I go, do the research. There has never been a time that I know of where the canals run dry. Okay? Like, boats are left on the floor. I'd like to, here's what I'm glad. I'm glad I know there's a floor there because I really thought it was like kind of like ocean kind of underneath. I'm not gonna lie. I'd like to see the floor of like I didn't know they were just a little above. I didn't know it was like a lagoon. I'm not gonna lie. So I kind of learned something about that. You know what I mean, Jess?
Well, first off, yes, okay, because movies like The Italian Job, Spider-Man, I can't remember where the one he went to Italy. Okay, they're diving in there like it's the ocean, like it's deep and stuff. I like, oh my god,
is that even that high? You guys were totally faking it. Yeah, exactly.
And it looked like I step in there and it looks like I can go up to my knees or something. I'm just like,
yeah.
Yeah, movies they lie.
But imagine those people out of a job that Red was for like people on a romantic vacation? Like that is not romantic. It's like that's desert, man. They're out of a job. Oh, those poor boats. They're like, no, it'll come in. It'll come in. I believe it'll come in. It'll come in. My point is this: where does it go though? Oh, anyway. Oh, did you see, Jess? We're heading to war. Did you see?
Maybe. I'm assuming we were gonna go to war the moment Russia went to Ukraine, but okay.
Oh, it got worse. It got worse. It got worse, Jess. I saw a report yesterday, and I'll say this. I'm just gonna say it. We've been saying, worst case scenario, who bans with Russia? Who has balloons in the sky? Who have we been shooting down? Yeah, China. Okay, China is saying that they met recent. Pretty big people met with Russia. They're going to aid them in the war. Now, Biden recently, made a trip to Ukraine. Obviously, he's made pretty sure his stance. They're saying, there was a treaty for nuclear that basically Putin's saying, I don't think so. Yeah, I mean, you kind of saw that one coming, so, But when, here's the problem. When China and Russia band together, you know how big they have of, just everything? When they go to war with the U.S., and the U.S. pulls in some of their, how big of a war do you think that's going to be eventually? If it keeps going that way. Now, they can always talk peace and be like, okay, we're not going to do this, we're not going to do that, we're not going to do this. And then, they sign treaty, and they say, okay, whatever. They get Ukraine, because I'm pretty sure they're going for that either way. And I think Russia, I don't know. Anyway, the point is this. Well, I think the U.S. will say in essence, Russia, let's get along, because you don't want war with Russia, all right? Now, Russia's doing the wrong, obviously, but they have so many warheads, so many nuclear devices, that now that's going to be a conversation probably for a couple of years. And I just say it just takes one to create a huge problem. But when China gets in on it, they've got drones. They've got those little machines that walk on all four. You put a little thing on that. You send that in. We got robot wars coming soon, probably in the next few years, Jess. We're living a sci-fi. You get where I'm going with this, Jess?
I have never seen a species so headstrong into destroying themselves, but yes, I do agree.
That's the best way of saying it. This species, and I gotta say this. All right, this species. All right, this is where it gets kind of interesting. Okay, the Pentagon have said, in essence, that they're investigating UFOs that turned off warheads. Okay, now someone remember this. If I said it in the 60s, in the 50s and 60s, there was a thing. I know we talk about things off air, Jess, but I gotta say this. You already know this is a thing, and I know this is a thing because I've heard this. You reminded me that this is a thing. They've talked about this for some time, and all those stuff that they say, conspiracy, right? You can find them on Netflix, Ancient Aliens and all that. And I know some of you tune out the moment you hear that. But I say, hold up. This is real stuff, okay? As people are talking UFO like they never have before. That's why I say it's the best time if you record something, get it out there, man. You got, places like TikTok, YouTube. Some of that stuff is just fake, obviously. But if you see something you can't explain and it's silent, there's lights and it's silent and it's floating, there's a reason, okay? So, it says this. Former U.S. Air Force personnel reportedly told the Pentagon about their encounters with UFOs back in the 60s. The officers say the 60s era UFOs turned off nuclear warheads. The Pentagon has an official office for investigating UFO sightings, and they're making everybody know about it now. It says it's been a jam-packed month for unidentified flying objects, or UFOs, in the U.S. So let's add one more piece of news to the pile. The government is investigating reports of UFOs deactivating warheads. But again, it's been a thing since, the 50s, to be honest. It says here, the U.S. Air Force personnel have testified that UFOs interfered with nukes in the 60s. That's been a thing. They've talked about that. Jess, you were like, yeah, I know, right?
Right. And everyone called that show crazy, and there people were coming forward how they were working in these facilities and their computers would constantly be messed up whenever they would see lights in the sky and stuff.
Oh, see, I didn't even know that. I know, I've heard of vehicles, in certain areas, and they say, I've been abducted. But I'm like, who believes that? I don't believe that. Do you?
I don't know. I'm not here to question. I think the craziest, I don't know if you've ever seen the movie Fire in the Sky.
I saw a little. That has a really good actor. We interviewed him once. Yeah, go ahead.
Yes, so that is one movie. It's about a person who was abducted. That's why like a lot of movies don't scare me, but this one does. He goes into detail about his abduction, and it is scary. That's all I got to say.
Yeah, it's interesting. It's done well, by the way. It's a really good movie. Okay, so let me go back to this. It says this: the officers said that the government's All Domain Anomaly Resolution Office, or AARO, they got to rename that. It sounds so like anomaly. Use the word anomaly. It sounds kind of like, are you those guys? Does everybody poke fun at you behind your back? No, it's real. Okay. That they had bizarre encounters with the objects near U.S. military bases. Now, it says here, let's see, a lot of stuff. All right. Let's see. I'm pushing some stuff here. Blah, blah, blah. Okay. Well, here's the thing. Just be aware it's a thing. Be aware that they can. And you're going to see a lot of stuff about Pentagon as of late. Pentagon just got like, I think Pentagon's doing dumb. Can I say that? Are they getting mad at me? Are they like, I don't think they're investigating us, are they? I know we're on the airwaves. They investigate everything in the airwaves. But the point is this. When you get, like, the fact that you had a server out there without a password is kind of the weird, you know what I mean? That's the stupidest thing I've ever seen, Jess.
Yeah, I don't think they were thinking too well. That's, oh my God. How would you, I have a password on my phone. How would you not have it on your server?
Yeah, do two-factor. I saw a report recently that said, don't do two-factor authentication. I say, well, if you forget something, then maybe I get that, but whatever. Anyway, there's some stuff going on. Pentagon probably the smartest right now. You need to like hire more smart people and then put everything on lockdown. Because Pentagon's supposed to be a locked place. We're not supposed to know anything about what the Pentagon does. You know, I know in theory they would say, you know, be transparent. You can't be transparent about spy and about investigation and about, you know, there's, okay, I'll give you an example. There's a lot of movies on the subject, but some people go, oh, that's not real. I actually spoke to somebody. I went to this place. I love this place, Aroma Cafe. Okay, it's a bakery too. They have a bakery cafe in Studio City. Okay, I went there. I talked to this guy. He's a very interesting guy, and he writes several movies that are really big, but he doesn't like to be known like that. We were talking about things that, you know, certain authors, he likes Clancy, and we were talking about how things get written in, and some people believe it, some people don't. He goes, you know, a lot of stuff is real. So yeah, I know. He goes, yeah, but people don't get it. Like authors, some just write it, and then others kind of live it and write it, and then others put in stuff that are kind of secretive but not, and then they come out eventually. They go, oh, it's right there. That's why I say robots are the next thing that are coming out, and it's happening under our noses. Some go, yeah, I know. I say, no, you don't. U.S. robotics, I didn't even know, and somebody told me, yeah, Honda bought them. I go, oh, mass production. Okay. Honda is more Japan-owned, right, Jess?
Yes. Oh my God. Are they coming out with something cool?
Well, let's go back to the early 1900s, okay? Ford and a bunch of other people helped the war when it came to manufacturing. Okay, they said, okay. And government says, hey, we're going to pay you a certain amount. We need this, that, and the other, okay? Now, there's been really big ones like Northrop Grumman and aerospace technologies that have come out of it, and they be more government, you know. But they do the Boeing, they do, you know, special, like, all kinds of stuff, right? Secret above and, you know, sometimes below ground, but whatever. And sometimes in mountain areas, some areas that are just cut off, like 51, 52, and 53. I know it's a thing. But the point is this. The point is this, Jess. The question I have is what happens next when, like, certain parts that we don't even know about. You know, some people think, oh, China, they don't really have that much. No, they do. There's a reason. They are a rich nation. Okay, they have invested in technology like no one has. Now, recently they talked about missile, and they said, what was the word that they said? It doesn't matter. It's a fast missile, but it's not as fast as the one that China has. That was much faster. So the question is, what happens next when people are upset and people go to war with each other? Nuke is kind of like a bottom level thing that we should be thinking when we say, okay, if a robot that you could control, Jess, let's say you're there at the station, as long as you have Wi-Fi and you have internet, you could control any robot to do it. You can actually control a robot to feed your dog, right, Jess?
Yes, I could.
Okay. Now, here's the thing. What if your neighbor hates your dog? He hacks into your account, hacks into your robot, and then makes it kill your dog. What do?
I would not say that it's on cameras or on the radio. So yeah, it would not be pretty.
You would beat him up. I get it. Okay, all right. The daylight's out of him. Got it. Okay. But the point is this. Okay? What happened, man? There are so many robots. I don't think people understand robots of where we're at right now and how they're going to go next level. When Honda has U.S. robotics, okay, they have them stand upright. All those movies that you watch on Netflix, that's ahead of where we're going. Okay, now I know some of them use computer graphics to get that, but some of this stuff, if you look at just look up U.S. robotics, and you're gonna see a lot of this stuff just be a thing. This is a perfect example. Let me give you something that you guys have seen. You've seen those ones that roll around, right?
Yes, I have.
Okay, and you've seen these, and actually they're selling these as a thing right now for the average person as a little assistant, they call it a dog robot, right? Or robo dog is what they'll probably go with. Anyway, these things are a thing, but here's the thing. And I say this to people, and they kind of go, yeah, I know. I go, no, you don't know, man. When it goes next level, it's just about hacking, Once they're hacked, that's a question. What's going to happen next? Now, I will say this. Recently talking about artificial intelligence because it was in the news. Because they, Bing, I don't know what Bing did. I don't know who they bought it from, but it kind of started, saying some stuff that they're like, are you kidding me? But here's an example of what you would call a machine. You've probably seen these things all over town. Oh, here's a perfect example. Okay, I like this one. Yeah, they're calling them robot dogs. Okay, now if you do a search on this is not fake. This is real. Man, there's so many photos on this. I just came up with. Okay, you know what? Let me do this one. Actually, this one's a little bit better. And the stuff you can make this stuff up, but there's a lot of movies on the subject that came out. There's an episode of this, Jess. I don't know if you saw Black Mirror. It's really good, by the way. But Black Mirror has this episode where one of these chases a guy and finds him and wants to kill him. It has this laser gun thing. It doesn't take much to go that. Now this is one you go, oh, this is responsible. Look at this. This is so cute. Now look at this. Okay, Jess. I'm going to put this up for you. Hopefully it doesn't lag us. But if you look at that, Jess, that picture of that little dog with him, you're like, oh, okay, I see that. That's like a little assistant, right?
No. I've seen the movie Red Planet. That's exactly the thing shaped like. No, Have you seen Red Planet?
No.
Okay, so they take something on their trip to Mars that looks exactly like this, except for it was brought over by the military, but it was recommissioned so that it would help them. But then it switched and it ended up going into military mode and killing everybody.
Yeah, that's my point. That's all it takes, Jess. That's all it takes. It looks so cute right there. I know it's like a little assistant. Yeah, little kids are like, I want that. Yeah, until you hook up a missile and laser and then a little thing to that. Now, I will say this. See, people are going, no, you're going to. I go, you guys are dumb. All right. Here's a perfect example. All right. Perfect example. And believe me, they're selling this. Okay, they're selling this. This is this is public. You can all search this, okay? This is all stuff that's happening. Now, this is not even the upright stuff. These ones, they've been testing for time. These are the ones that they kick it and then it balances. It got so quick and fast, right? They said, no, it's research. Oh, it'll help you. And I believe they can help people once they say, oh, it's not good for us when it comes to the military. Here's one, Jess. Is this what you're talking about? Because it doesn't take long before a hacker just says, you know what, I'm going to log into that and make it turn on you. Do you see what's on its back, Jess?
Oh my God, that is the coolest thing ever. Wait, yes, no, I'm just imagine that thing coming at you, but it looks like a giant cannon. Good Lord. The fact that it has sword written on the side of it does not help.
It's so cute and it's awesome when it works for you until it turns on you, Jess.
It only barks once.
It doesn't bark, man. It's
No.
That's all you hear.
The moment it shoots is when it barks.
Oh, that's the bark. Rawr. Yeah, so there you go. Okay, now I will say, okay, there's some movies on this subject. You go, no, that's fake. That's not real. I say, man, you guys are dumb. And there's some stuff that you look at and you go, oh, that's not real either. That's fake. Okay, I get that. They are building stuff, Jess, that you would say, oh my God, this is amazing. And this one, for example, it says, let's see, for U.S. and China's military, the future is robots. How is India competing? Oh, Jess. Okay, I'm not going to lie. This is the movie stuff that you'd be like, dude, this is cool. Okay, let me show you this. Okay, now this one, I didn't even see coming. I'm doing a search on robots, and I put in the search. You guys could check this, okay? I know some of you are kind of in that mode. I have a story about it. Robots, U.S. robotics. Okay, that's what I typed in. Now, this one, you go, nah, that's fake. No, man, they're building it in India, Jess. This is where it's. How many movies have you seen with machines that look like this?
Oh, are we getting to this time? This is just like RoboCop. Oh my God.
You know how many people, including the kids, are like, dude, I want to be in that machine and run it. I go, no, you don't. You want to do it from afar. That's real, Jess. You know that Gundam thing? I think that's like a poster child for what they're going to want to do in the future when they go to outer space. But for right now, this is what they're doing in India to compete with like China when it comes to robotics. And I think they're actually going to probably get this, Jess.
Okay, so if I was a Chinese soldier and I saw this coming down the road or over a hill or something, I would put my gun down. I give up. No, I'm a Terminator.
Well, it's clunky. It's clunky. Okay, the way you get ahead of this one, the wheelbase is dumb. You don't do wheelbase like that. When they do tracking, like they do with like a what do you call it? Like a tank, then it works. Those wheels are easily like it'll slip and fall. You can't do that. I don't know if it has like 3 or 4. It looks like this. So the point is this. Go ahead, Jess.
It looks like it's a tripod, so it looks like it has 3. But yeah, I think treads would be a much better option rather than wheels.
Yeah, again, I would probably do that. But now let me go to this, and people are like, are you kidding me? I go, well, here's the thing. It's been happening, and it's been happening under your nose, man. Okay, and this is what they're training them to do. Okay, this is why kind of the report that you saw, Jess, and you said, up north, they kind of are giving like, let me go back to this. Let me scale back because some of you are going, no, that can't be real. And I go, you guys are dumb. So watch this. Okay, so we got that one, right? Okay, that's the little Army one with this little guy over there. Okay, what happens when you want to replace the Army guy and you say, no, we're going to send a robot in? What do you do, Jess?
I don't know.
This.
What do you come up with? Oh my God, I'm afraid to look.
All right, now this looks cool for a movie, right?
Oh yeah. Oh God, I've seen this movie as well. Jeez.
Yeah. The article says this, and it's let's see, a site. It says the U.S. Army advances its robotic system, assisting soldiers in mobility. The United States Army Research Laboratory is upgrading their legged locomotion and movement adaptation robot, known as Llama, with an effort to boost speed and mobility through system weight reduction. In mid-September, the USARL divulged their autonomous quadruped system, highlighting the ability to work in concert with soldiers, easing their workloads when it came to physicality and augmenting their mobility, protection, and lethality, or, lethal. that looks lethal, Jess. I don't want that coming at me. Which I'm all right at taking out someone, but when it gets hacked, that's what I say. What do you think, Jess?
Yeah, I'm not enjoying this new form of warfare at all. All warfare is dumb. So we're wasting our time creating these weapons when we can be doing much better things.
Okay, so you get what I'm saying, and that looks like a movie, but it's not a movie, Jess. That's an actual robot.
Yeah, go watch the movie Chappie. That's all I gotta say.
Yeah, well, and that's the point. Okay, and a lot of this stuff when it comes to movies. Oh, we're over time. I'm so out of it. Okay, make it a good day. Whatever you remember, the life is worth living. All right, people. I gotta show this. I don't know if this is real or fake, this particular picture. But I will say there's so much information out there and so many things that you go, what happens next? Okay. So I will say this. Well, that's an example. Yeah. there's so many things on the subject that when you do a search, you go, is that real or fake? Because they have augmented reality, and sometimes these things make it look real. So but it's how do I say? It's a thing. Oh, let me put this one up. Okay. This is a perfect example. This is where we're going, people. All right. I know there are so many people right now that go, wait, what? But these things are real, and it isn't for a movie, although you'll see them in movies. Okay. This is where you kind of go, no, it's a movie. It's not a movie. Okay. Let me show you this. Okay. This is, and I didn't even know this was happening until now. Okay. This is what India is doing. This is why I think India is kind of like a little behind, because it's too top heavy. It looks cartoonish. And then the other one is like, I don't know. Like certain things add up, certain things don't. But this is where they're going, okay? It says everything we know about the USA versus Japan giant robot battle. All right. I would say India is kind of like trying to do some stuff. Are they mock things? Can they move? Robotics is really trying to do this, okay? Now, the one on the left is more mech warrior-ish, okay? And a lot of people know this, okay? So they go, oh, no, that's just, like fake. And it could be. But this is where they're going, okay? U.S. Robotics has their hand on this. But mech warrior has been kind of a thing for some time when it comes to people going, oh, okay, what can we do with machinery, right? The one on the left, you can be in. The one on the right, not really. You would remote that, okay? But it goes back to the other one that we just saw. So these things, they publicize them, and they publicize them so they could get a contract so that, they can make money, obviously. So that's where we're going, okay? Where have we gone already, okay? A lot of you see stuff, you go, oh, that's so cute. That's so, peaceful and loving and just amazing. And they look cool. Right? And they go, what can they do with this, right? I can tell you right now, military goes, we know what we're going to do with this, right? If you have a SWAT team, all right, I'll give you an example. You look at this image, you go, okay, I get that now, right? And you go, okay, that makes sense, all right? When you see this image, you go, okay, obviously that's fake, right? But that person in the back is actually real, and that machinery is actually real, okay? But then you go back to this. This is the beginning stage, but I've been saying this. You should be concerned. I'm not going to lie. I saw the movie Black Mirror. I don't know which episode it is, but it has these guys. And I'm like, huh? And I thought that was kind of weird, but they were ahead of it, of where it goes. See this? They're yellow, and, sometimes they dance in unison. Have you seen videos like that? And you're like, oh, that's not a thing. Look at these people. They're so nice. Okay, they're just doing it for the right reason. Now, when military gets involved, they go next level, and they go, bye-bye. That's where they're at, people. The fact that they're training, I don't think people understand. The point is this, people. A SWAT team would love this little guy, because he could go in there and disarm a bomb or grab a bomb, and then they would detonate it, and then that little guy's, bye-bye, he's so cute the way he moves. But someone say, don't, because he's machinery. I go, I know, he's so cute, though. So the point is this. What do you do? Now, let me go back to this. Innocent. Cute, but lethal. Don't let that thing. All you have to have is have a missile on its back, right? So, I say this, and people just aren't ready for it, but I say this. We're already in the future, but what have we learned from any robot that goes to war for human? It could be hacked, and bye-bye. Okay, you strap this little thing on its back. Okay, that's why I say at some point they're gonna stop selling these at some point, because people are gonna use these, and they're not gonna understand. They're gonna hate it. It's something that they're not gonna want to have out there, because you could put anything on the back of this, and you could shoot a lot of people all at once. You just do it remotely from your home or from a undisclosed location. So that's going to be what happens, and then people are going to say, we're not good with this stuff being out there. And I say, well, you're selling it like a little puppy. What do you think is going to happen? Okay, it's just a matter of time. It really is. We're not promoting anything that isn't already there. But there you go. All right, so I'll leave it with this. People say, well, this is responsible. I go, okay, all right, that's responsible. Until every country has one, and then every country does at you. Now you're in the opposite end. Okay, India's already in on this. China's already in on this. Oh, that's right. China's banding with Russia. Russia's going, hey, can we get some? Japan's going, hey, we want to defend. Now, everybody's going to have a robot at some point, and they all shoot at each other. Do you get where I'm going with this? So there you go. I know, people aren't ready for it. But I do say this. Look, we got to get a handle on it, all right? Here's why I say this. There is no way we could survive a robot war. I know in every single movie they have it. But when you have nuclear, you have robot, you have people, you have machine, you got internet, you got hack, you got all of that. Who's the responsible person in the room? I don't know. That's just something I can put out there. Hope we learn from where we're at in the stream of time. And, yeah. All right. Make it a great day, whatever you do. Remember, life is worth living. Live it well. Bye-bye, everyone.